produced. Developed as a successor to the Douglas A4 Skyhawk series of carrier-based strike fighter, the LTV A-7 Corsair entered service with the United States Navy during the Vietnam War in 1967. Some 1,569 examples were ultimately produced and operated by the United States, Greece, Portugal, and Thailand. The last operational versions were retired as recently as 2014, while American use was given up following the Gulf War in 1993. Origins of the A-7 reside back in a 1962 U.S. Navy initiative which produced the VAX program, seeking a follow-up design to the aging A-4 platform. A budget-conscious approach was selected in which an existing airframe was to serve as the basis for the new aircraft. This would also expedite development and ultimate serial production of the strike fighter. Key industry powerhouses such as Douglas, Grumman, North American, and Vought put forth various submissions, each with potential. The Vought submission in particular was based on their successful F-8 Crusader carrier-based strike fighter, which became a proven U.S. Navy contributor during the 1960s. Its airframe was modified slightly to include a shortened fuselage but retained its high-mounted, swept-back wings, triciclo undercarriage, and under-cockpit intake. The adjustable, pivoting wing main planes of the F-8 were dropped to simplify the new design for both production and maintenance. After evaluation of all the competing types, the Vought submission was selected in February of 1964 and assigned the U.S. Navy designation of A-7 with the name of Corsair II, honoring the successful war-winning World War II-era Vought F-4U Corsair carrier-based, prop-driven product. Development of the A-7 platform was relatively fast, and 3 A-7A developmental models were ordered by the U.S. Navy in March of 1964. A first flight was recorded on September 26, 1965, with the engine of choice being the Pratt & Whitney TF30 P6 turbofan of 11,350 pounds thrust. Its non-afterburning engine decreased fuel consumption, which adding operational range but limited speeds to the subsonic range. The initial design was also fitted with all-important radar in the nose via the ANAPQ-116 series system, and a head-up display in the cockpit made it the first American aircraft to feature this useful, now standard technology. An ejection seat increased pilot survivability, and an advanced, digital weapons suit made for an accurate bomb delivery platform when compared to contemporaries. The wing main planes were hinged outboard of the hardpoints for improved carrier storage, and the triciclo undercarriage designed with the rigors of carrier operation in mind. Underwing hardpoints numbered 6 in all, and 2 side fuselage stations were also in play, mainly to carry AIM-9 Sidewinder short-range, air-to-air missiles. Total stores capability was theoretically 15,000 pounds, made up of a mix of conventional drop bombs, guided ordnance, and homing, guided missiles. Initially, 2 20mm Colt Mk12 cannons were fitted for close-in work, and 250 rounds were afforded per gun installation. A later mark introduced a single 20mm rotary gun with 1,030 rounds carried. With testing behind it, the A-7A graduated to its first production form as the A-7A, and these were taken into U.S. Navy service in 1966 through Squadron VA-147. In 1967, initial operating capability was reached. The A-7 appeared at a time when the American military was firmly committed to actions in and around Vietnam. As such, the Corsair II baptism of fire was quick to be seen as the aircraft was shipped to the theater in number. Its first sorties came during December of 1967, beginning a long and storied service life for the Vought product. The A-7A was produced in 199 examples and featured the same power plant of the developmental-minded A-7E. The follow-up production model became the A-7B, which installed the TF-30P8 engine of 12,190 pounds thrust, and these were later modernized with the TF-30P408 engine of 13,390 pounds thrust and had their original ANAPQ-115 terrain following radars replaced by the ANAPQ-116 series. Total production of B models reached 196 examples. As a combat platform, the A-7 series succeeded its expectations. Of the nearly 13,000 sorties flown over Vietnam by the aircraft, just 6 were counted lost in the whole of the war. It proved itself one of the most accurate bomb delivery platforms during the conflict. The line saw additional combat service in the Grenada invasion and in actions over Lebanon that same year. During 1986, the aircraft was used against Libyan in targeting surface-to-air missile positions. The aircraft was then featured in the 1991 Gulf War, where its precision strike capabilities were used to good effect. During the contest, the aircraft also flew as converted aerial refueling tankers with success. Some of its final service with American forces came in the training role for the Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter program, where its subsonic qualities were equal to that of the next generation radar evading bomber. Final A-7 in American service were retired during 1993, and the Portuguese Air Force gave up use of the type in 1999, followed by the Hellenic Air Force in 2014. Thai A-7 are under a non-operational status and can be presumed officially retired, bringing an end to the operational service life of this fine aircraft. Many have survived as preserved museum showpieces.